All right, Bulls and Bears back with another dose of economic reality coming at you from the left coast of the United States of America. That would be California. Out here, things are still booming, folks. Did some shopping earlier. My daughter wanted to go to the Halloween store to get some green paint for her face. I don't know what she's going to be, but it was packed wall to wall. We went to a used consignment clothing store after that called Plato's Closet. It was packed, people waiting in line to buy stuff. Restaurants, still a lot of cars in front of restaurants. Everything still looks normal, right? Not a real slowdown, even though a few months ago we found out that 50% of the U.S. spending is just from the top 10% of income earners, right? So 50% of all the spending just from the top 10%. So that should tell you a lot of the numbers that we're seeing are propped up just by the more well-to-do, the more wealthy. But under the surface, things are not looking so good. On the surface, things look great. Again, people are out shopping, they're doing things, they're traveling, the airports are still packed, restaurants packed, amusement parks, people in there like ants, just packed, right? Maybe a slowdown in some places, 5% to 10% drop in Las Vegas traffic. So people are starting to pull back. It's not that noticeable yet. Again, when you go out, you're still going to see a lot of people shopping, a lot of economic activity. But why? Well, let's get to the bottom of that, and we're going to hear from a lot of people today giving their input and thoughts on the economy. The reason why? Well, we'll tell you, it's based on debt. Look at the national debt. We just saw the biggest run-up in national debt since the health crisis. We added on $1 trillion in a matter of, it seemed like weeks. I mean, it's been a few months, but it seemed like 2 or 3 weeks. But it's been the fastest accumulation of debt for the United States since 2020 when they had the emergency. And now, is there an emergency? Well, you could say so because we're running up the same levels of debt, or I should say we're always running up debt, the national debt that is, and individuals, but the national debt is what I'm talking about now. We're always running it up, but the pace that we're taking out the debt is almost record-breaking. Again, since 2020, we haven't seen this happen. And why? Because things are continuing to get more expensive, paying out all these people that next month they may not get their free stuff, their free food, and that could be a problem. But what do we tell you right here? I said some states, some areas might actually find a way to give their people some food. So let's start with this, and then we'll give a few people some others a chance to chime in here. But take a listen to this. Now, we talked recently about how many states, how many people in various states are not going to get their food benefits in November, and that could be a big problem. It could cause a big uptick in crime and just a lot of problems. But look at this, an emergency declaration out of Louisiana and Virginia. This is just came out recently. They declared state of emergency to keep their SNAP benefits flowing during the shutdown. So states are now declaring a state of emergency. So the question is, where are they going to get the money at? Well, they're going to take it from somewhere else. They're going to probably raise taxes. State of emergency, concerns of SNAP benefits may run out. November SNAP benefits may be impacted, though, still in most states. So we're just a few days away to see, will it be chaos and carnage, or what will it be? Will it be just another emergency? And many are saying that the bigger accumulation in the national debt is just going to be getting extra money to pay these people once the government reopens. So they may get their back pay that they would have gotten. I shouldn't say pay. They're going to get their back benefits that they would have gotten if the government would not have shut down, right? So we're going to see how that plays out. In the meantime, be cautious, be careful, because it could get dangerous if there are people that lose these benefits. I still think they may come in with some sort of last-minute deal, but maybe not. We'll see how it goes. We're living in crazy times, and I say prepare for anything. But let's hear from a few people on what they're thinking about the economy, the cost of living right now, and everything else here. Let's take a listen.
You know it's bad when the quick lube got the guy standing on the side of the road, and what they doing is they signaling to everybody to pull in. So even these guys are not getting the oil changes. That's crazy.
All right, so we got quick lube people out there trying to wave in the traffic because they're not getting the business, it looks like. Somebody in comments said, I'm not paying $100 for an oil change. Well, I don't think it's $100, but it's definitely not cheap, not as cheap as like Walmart or one of these other oil change places you can go to. And then I've heard some videos too where people don't really trust what they're doing there. I guess they got caught. I'm not sure about this particular retail business, but there were some, I should say, mechanical facilities that were not doing the work that they said they were going to do. And I'm not going to name any names because I'm not sure. I'm just kind of going off memory. But yeah, these people are out there trying to wave traffic in. Is that a sign of something? I mean, if they really wanted to get traffic and get business, they would be holding a sign that said 50% off, but they're not doing that. They're just trying to wave people in there. And I believe it may be between $50 and $60 for an oil change there, maybe more. Plus, what they try to do, and I've been to one before, what they try to do is upsell you. Oh, you need an air filter. You want to do that? It's only $30. In the meantime, you can buy a new air filter at Walmart for like $9 probably, depending on your model, right? So, I don't know. I think there's definitely caution right now in the economy, and I think there's people that are willing to go out and spend money on a restaurant before they are an oil change, right? And I've used this analogy before. You've got people driving around with their check engine lights on their vehicle, on their dash, going to sporting events with their check engine light on because they'd rather spend money on watching people throw a ball around and watching millionaires, shoot baskets versus fix their own vehicle. I mean, some people are like that, believe it or not. That's how crazy it is. All right, people, let's jump back into the food benefit thing for just a minute here and listen to what some people are posting. I found a few more that kind of surprised me a little bit. Take a listen to this.
We're going to be eating chili cheese dogs for Thanksgiving if we don't get food stamps this come November. 911 sent help for all of us.
I think a lot of people that...
This girl's out on there on social media saying 911 emergency because she might have to eat chili cheese dogs for Thanksgiving. So instead of turkey and all the little trimmings that you get on a Thanksgiving dinner, she's complaining because she might have to eat chili cheese dogs, right? There's people out there that would love a chili cheese dog. There's people out there that can't even get a chili cheese dog. And we have people complaining that they might have to eat a chili cheese dog for Thanksgiving, right? Let's hear what the poster, though, has to say here.
911 sent help for all of us.
I think a lot of people that are posting videos about losing their EBT or SNAP benefits are trying to get everybody else to feel bad. But honestly, all you guys are doing is just demonstrating why we need cuts to these programs, why we need work requirements or community service requirements to receive them, and how many people are really abusing the system. First of all, nice nails. Second of all, you look able-bodied to me. Third, I don't care if you end up eating chili dogs for Thanksgiving. Food stamps aren't about providing a 7-course meal or having the same lifestyle as you would have if you were providing for yourself. They are an assistance program. They're there to help you temporarily until you can get yourself back on your feet. And if you're too good for chili dogs, then get a job so you can get what you want. And maybe express a little bit of gratitude that there is a program available to make sure that you don't starve, even if it means you're eating chili dogs.
Wow. Do we agree with that? Do we disagree? All right. I see the comments on these videos. Some people disagree. Some people say no one should go without food. And I agree. No one should go without food. But should it be paid for on borrowed money and the taxpayer? That's the big question out there, right? So if you took away these programs, how many of these people that say they can't work would actually go to work? Now, there will still be people that cannot work. And it's complicated. It's not simple, right? And that's why we need to at least talk about it. It is complicated. There's people out there that are watching. I saw a video of a grandma who had to take care of 4 grandkids and have them live with her because her parents, unfortunately, the parents of the kids passed away. So she got saddled with 4 extra kids on top of her own kids. She's a grandma. And she still has a couple at home herself. So I think it was like 6 or 7 in the household. She can't work. She's got too big of a family. Sometimes you have so big of a family, you just cannot work. And if you can work, you need to have somebody to watch your kids. Some people are lucky enough to have daycare, or they have a relative, I should say, to watch their kids for free. Other people pay babysitters. Other people have to spend money on daycare, which is very expensive, right? So it's not simple. There are some people that just are having a very difficult time working. Disabled people, look at all the vets, like PTSD. Like there's a lot of people out there with big problems. And so it's not simple, that's for sure. It's not clear cut, but we're about ready to see who's able to work and who's not, who's going to be trying to steal food. One thing I didn't see, though, is people out on social media asking for jobs. I didn't see one video out of the hundreds of videos I scrolled through. I saw a lot of people complaining, saying that they better get their food, otherwise they're just going to take it, saying it's a 911 emergency. But I didn't see anyone, not one, asking for a job. Oh, I'm going to lose my benefits. Anyone hiring? Didn't see any videos like that. Pretty interesting, right? Take a listen to this, though.
Getting ready to be shut down completely as of November the 1st. I'm seeing all of these videos, as I'm sure you all have, of people complaining, saying that they are going to start stealing, and don't say anything to me if I'm walking out of the store with a thing of groceries because I can't feed my children. I haven't seen one video of anyone begging for a job. I haven't seen one video saying, you know what, they about to cut off my EBT. Y'all, anybody hiring? I haven't heard not one of those videos. Not one. You live in America, okay? And regardless of how you feel, you live in the land of opportunity. Young lady, you live in the land of opportunity where not only if you can't get a job, even if you don't have an education, you can do gig work. You can go be a bartender. You can go outside and beg. You have opportunity after opportunity, even if you have a car. I just heard that people can do DoorDash or something that they'll loan you a car. You get to rent a car to do that. There are too many opportunities here for you not to sit back and try to figure out a way to make sure you and your children have food. Because you didn't make your children on your own. We're not even going to go there. And I'm not hating on nobody getting no EBT, but get people going through a tough time, but it's something for you to get a leg up in life. This is a handout so you can do better in life, not something that you should be living on. And I had a really good friend of mine at one point that was living on this stuff before. And I was like, hey, why don't you try to pick up a skill set? You're not working. Why don't you try to do this? You're not working. Oh, no, they ain't going to never cut this off. They ain't going to never cut off my Social Security. And guess what's going on right now? They trying to cut off their Social Security, trying to cut off their EBT. All of that is getting ready to change. If you have time and opportunity, and that's the thing, when you're on these different benefits, you have nothing but time on your hands. You're not just sitting there raising your children. It's not like you're homeschooling them because they're going to public school. They're becoming the public school and society's problem. While they're doing that and you're not working, you could have been trying to get some kind of trade. You could have been somewhere trying to learn how to day trade. You could have been, getting a degree in something. I see too many women, especially single moms, out there that get these benefits and then they turn around, they become a nurse or they become a flight attendant. They do something with that time while they're getting those benefits. That's what they're for. That's what they're supposed to be used for. But again, y'all willing to go out there and commit a crime. Not everybody's saying it, but a lot of people are saying it. All the ratchets are saying that they're willing to go and rob stores, take groceries out, but I ain't heard not one of them post one video begging for a job.
Wow, there you go. Somebody else said the same exact thing, folks. And I think we do have a problem of people, I don't think I know, we have a problem here in the United States of people, able-bodied people that don't want to work. And I was looking it up here. Imagine if we weren't able to run up endless amounts of debt as a country. Again, we went from 37 to 38 trillion in just a couple short months, what it seemed like. If we weren't able to do that, folks, how many people wouldn't get paid out even Social Security benefits, right? People think that the money's just there. Folks, if the money was there, we wouldn't have to borrow money just to keep things operational, to keep things from imploding, right? As a nation, we're borrowing money just at unprecedented levels. It just keeps getting worse. And imagine how many people, there's close to 70 million people on Social Security that wouldn't get their checks each month. You would see economic activity dive. If the banks were to stop loaning out money, if the credit card increases would stop for their credit limits, the economy would dive. The streets would be half empty because people wouldn't have the credit available to go do the things that they want to do, go to the restaurants, go to the nightclubs, go to the amusement parks, all those things, traveling, vacation, ball games, sporting events, etc.
So our rent's going up by $300 a month. Like, we live in a normal ass looking apartment. Like, there's nothing fancy about it. Okay? When I moved here in August of 2018, we were paying $1,900 a month. And now they want us to pay $2,500, citing, building improvements and renovations and repairs and property taxes and water bills and all this other stuff. Oh, and inflation. Yeah, that's another one too. And And it's crazy because like all the people that live in this building are all just like working class people. They're just working class people. Just people working, trying to do their thing, you know? I called them. I called the property manager to talk to the office manager, to talk to everybody, right? And one of the things that they told me was, so you want us to lower your rent? Why? And it's incredible because it's like they don't see all the people that live in this building as people. They see them as numbers. They see them as numbers on a spreadsheet, which is lovely, I guess.
Let me interrupt real quick. One thing about high home prices is that landlords know that homes are unaffordable, so then they know they can raise the rent. Normally, if homes were a little more affordable, they wouldn't want to raise your rent so drastically because they'll know that people are just going to leave and go buy a home somewhere because now the rent's as high as what it would be if you bought a home. So why not just buy a home? Now, homes are so expensive, it gives the landlords much more leverage to raise these rents. You see what I'm saying here? Drop a comment if you agree with that.
I'm just tired, man. I'm just tired of not being valued, of all of us not being valued as human beings, as people with feelings and, you know, a desire for hope and a desire for I just don't know. I'd like, something's got to change. Something's got to give.
I think he's missing I think he's missing the whole thing. I think he's missing the whole scene, folks. The whole reason people get into property investment. The reason people invest in properties, and let me know if I'm wrong, but let me ask you a question. Do you think people invest in properties, invest in real estate, and rent them out for profit, to make money, or to provide affordable housing for strangers? Right? If you said to make money and profit, you're right. Nobody goes into real estate thinking, oh, I'm going to buy this home or apartment building to rent it out at as low price as possible to help people. No, nobody does that. I've never even had the thought that anyone would want to do that because you have expenses too as a landlord. So no one's going to sit there and leave money on the table not knowing what could happen next month, next year. They could lose a job. They could have a hospital bill. They could have an expense. Everybody's trying to get as big of a nest egg as possible. And I shouldn't say everybody. A lot of people are wasting money. But the people that are really savvy about making money and running a business, a profitable business, they're making as much money as possible. They're going to squeeze every penny, every dime out of the customer, out of the tenant. That's business, right? And if you're not doing that, you may not be in business that long. That's the sad truth about this system that we're living in, this corporate America, if you want to call it that, right? Let's finish up with what he's got to say, though.
You know, because like we're all stuck in this loop. Like, I'm valuable. I know I'm valuable. I have a lot to offer. I speak 3 languages. I'm not an idiot. I mean, sometimes, yes. But like for the most part, no. I'm a very educated person. Just because I don't have money, I have no value to you. Because I don't have a big fat bank account, I have no value to you. Something's got to change, man. Something's got to change. And, you know, I hope at least wherever you're at and wherever you're watching this from, and you're doing good and you're doing well and you're being taken care of.
Why does rent have to go up every year, but my salary doesn't? Sad face. That's really disappointing. So if we look back to 1995 to now, the percentage increase is almost 100% increase in the amount of rent people are paying. But income doesn't increase as quickly. Of course, rents increase with inflation, but this is more than that. A lot of the low-cost units are disappearing from the market because they have transitioned to luxury housing. Landlords are charging more and more based on upgrades they've made, or they've transitioned to for sale homes. There's also been an increase in what's called institutional investment. These are corporations buying up homes and also multifamily residential buildings to rent them out to make a profit. In 2001, only about 18% of rental units were owned by corporations. Today, that's about 50%. So it's really likely that you're paying your rent to a corporate landlord. What?
That's what she said. That was a report out of Wired. And a lot of people are sick of it. They're sick of working so hard, sometimes multiple jobs, to give their money at the end of the month to a billionaire. And that's what happens when you see this type of housing for profit type of thing. And it's not going to stop unless something huge comes in and changes this whole structure. It's not going to stop, folks. Just going to continue to get worse. But that's okay because we're on top of it. We're investing. If you've been on this channel, you've probably done really well with a lot of the investments. Gold and silver, if you got into those things, you're up fourfold. 4 times increase in silver since we first started talking about it. Gold, I think 3 times increase. Other investments we've talked about here have done pretty well. So you got to be careful, though, about what you invest in. We'll try to talk about that more here in future videos. I've been hearing from people. We need more solutions. We need more ideas. Also, save money. Don't waste money. Try to find fun things to do that aren't so expensive. Right? I just went to the park the other day and did some jogging, played some basketball. It was fun. Didn't cost me anything. It cost me $0. Unless you want to count the cost of the sports drink that I drank after I exercised. But, you know, very low cost things to do that are fun, right? Exercise, lay out in the sun, get some vitamin D, natural vitamin D. Anyways, hope you guys are good. Hope you all are good. Thanks everybody for watching. Drop a comment. Let me know about any of this. Keep stacking. Bye for now. Peace.